Far Cry 2 is a game both vast and long. You could easily spend dozens of hours in this sandbox set in a failed African state.
Don't let this concern you, just boys living off steam, right? You remember how you...
Whether you'd want to is another matter altogether.
Everyone's trying to find a way out of the hunt. Only fools stay.
It's very much a game of 3 acts, and your appreciation of the game as a whole depends on which of these 3 acts resonates strongly with you. The easily amused will be satisfied simply rampaging around in the first act. The player looking for some greater purpose for the mayhem must wait for the second, and the thoughtful player will find plenty to mull over in the third and final act. In Far Cry 2, you play a mercenary hired to kill the Jackal, a notorious gun runner. However, aside from a few brief appearances, your target is missing for most of the game. It's a shame because the Jackal leaves a strong impression each and every time he appears. This fascinating character is mainly fleshed out through audio recordings, which in a baffling and disappointing decision have been reduced to optional collectibles, despite featuring the best writing of the game.
What is the measure of a man, or of his murder? By what insane calculus can we answer questions like these? Should we even try?
It's as if the developers presumed you wouldn't really be interested in his motivations, and by extension, need any greater motivation for all the shooting. Be that as it may, the shooting is executed well enough, and should please genre fans who are perfectly content with shooting for its own sake. Given that weapons are critical to both story and gameplay, it's unsurprising they are lovingly modeled and abundant. There is ample opportunity to try them out as well. You are free to approach combat in this 360-degree battlefield as you see fit. Sniping from a distance, getting up close and personal, stealthily sneaking up on foes, rushing in with all guns blazing, or even avoiding unnecessary battles altogether. Foes are plentiful, aggressive, and smart enough to flank you. So even with play advantages like ample healing options, the ability to recover even from gruesome injuries, and buddy rescues, recklessness can still result in death. No matter how thrilling Far Cry 2's action is, you could be forgiven for wondering what the point is after the first dozen firefights.
What would it matter if we butchered the lot of them? Would it change anything?
A charitable fan might assert this was done deliberately in order to put you in the mindset of an opportunistic mercenary, but it's likely some players might feel sufficiently detached from the proceedings to abandon the game after a few hours.
I mean, seriously, fuck it. This place... Dude, it's like a plane and the engines just fell off. And the pilots are too busy choking each other to see there's a problem. Fuck it.
Those who persevere will have their patience rewarded at the end, however.
And now you're here. It's cool, man. It's
The game provides many choices on the way to that ending, but these choices are usually binary and frustrating in their pointlessness. There is no compelling reason to choose one faction over the other, for example.
UFLL, APR. There's no popular resistance, no liberty or labor. There's no ideology at all.
Not choosing is never a choice, because there's no other way of progressing. This alone would be galling, but to add insult to injury, the player is then condemned for choosing.
They're gonna think you did this, a dirty mercenary who'll do anything for a payout.
The finale involves a false dilemma typical of Far Cry 2. The Jackal, the proxy for the developers, has passed judgment.
The only ones who die today are the ones who have it coming.
and left you with only two awful choices yet again.
So which one are you taking? Diamonds or dynamite? It's up to you.
The ending, though memorable, rings false for this reason, and it is symptomatic of the game's biggest issue. For all its perceptiveness regarding its setting and subject matter, Far Cry 2 remains an FPS so enamored with its own weapons, it never anticipates you might want to put those weapons down and simply walk away.